This is my Ender 3 Pro. It is one of the cheapest budget 3D printers by Creality that is also fully open source. You may notice that my printer looks slightly different compared to the original, but we'll get to the upgrades and changes I made to it later. Firstly, let's take a look at the field test prints I did with the printer almost at stock configuration. All of the STL files for these prints will be linked below in the description so you can download them and print them yourself. The first print I did was this calibration cube that I sliced on Creality Slicer, which is basically an outdated version of Ultimaker Cura. Despite this, the print turned out really well with minor ringing and very few surface artifacts. The next major print I did was a PLA version of my BRS Alpha Beast butterfly knife. This knife is modeled entirely from scratch in Onshape and requires the same assembly as my original popsicle version of the knife. The main change I made to this print compared to the wooden version were the pins that connect the handles to the blade. Instead of using very thin toothpicks as pins, I printed some much thicker and stronger prints that should last a lot longer. The next print I did was another Balisong, but this one is based on the Valorant Balisong with a much more intricate and detailed handle design. This print was also designed in Onshape with an official image from Valorant being used as a reference for the design. The main difference of this print compared to the Alpha Beast are the slicer settings. For this print, I switched to Ultimaker Cura instead of Creality Slicer, which gave me many more options in terms of quality and overall print settings. The final print I printed with the printer at stock was this Nanovise that I found on Thingiverse. This print was also sliced in Cura and came out flawless apart from some minor ringing on the main body of the vise. Now that I've printed a few models and tested the printer's capabilities as stock, I decided it was time to upgrade both its hardware and software to enhance its performance even further. Just like the test prints, the links to all the STL files and all upgrades shown will be linked below in the description. The first upgrade that I did to the printer are these V-slot covers that I found on Thingiverse. These covers basically prevent debris buildup in the aluminium parts and just help keep the printer clean very easily. The next upgrade is something that many people recommend, which is a filament guide to prevent the filament from rubbing against the Z-axis lead screw and extruding greasy filament out the extruder. Another upgrade I saw being highly recommended is the LCD back cover to protect the LCD PCB board. This one is very easy to print and install, and I specifically found a version on Thingiverse that uses the original screws instead of longer ones that you need to buy separately. Now comes one of the more major upgrades I installed onto this printer, an LED light bar on the top of the machine. This is the first upgrade that I installed that involves tinkering with the electronics of the printer, so I made sure I knew what I was doing before I even considered this upgrade. Basically, to install the lights, I needed to disassemble the mean well power supply and connect two extra wires to it, which connect directly to my 24V IKEA LED lights. The lights are controlled by a toggle switch behind the LCD panel. I then designed and printed a few mounting brackets for both the light and the switch and mounted the whole thing onto the top of the printer. Now my printer can provide sufficient lighting for itself when printing in darker areas such as my garage. The next two upgrades are purchased from Creality, and they are the aluminium leveling knobs and the springs, as well as the CR Touch auto bed leveling sensor. The new leveling knobs and springs are self-explanatory and basically replace the original, and they change the look while also providing a stiffer build plate that stays level for longer. However, having a bed that stays level isn't something that I need to worry about anymore thanks to the CR Touch sensor, which is the last and also most expensive upgrade that I installed onto this printer. The sensor basically replaces the Z and stop switch and also acts as an auto bed leveling probe that probes the bed before each print and compensates for any slopes or warps on the bed. This is definitely one of the harder upgrades to install, as it involves flipping the printer on its side just to access the main board, and the firmware changes needed to make the sensor work can also be frightening to a beginner. For me, I basically ignored Creality's instruction manual, as Creality's instructions aren't exactly known for their clarity and accuracy, so instead I followed Michael from Teaching Tech's excellent tutorial on installing a BL Touch, which is the same wiring and firmware changes to the CR Touch, so it was perfect for me. After flashing the new firmware onto my printer and calibrating the XYZ probe offsets with Marlin's built-in wizard, I did a test print which turned out flawlessly with consistent first layer squish and adhesion. And that's it. Those are all the prints and upgrades I did to this printer after 1 month of owning it. Before I end this video, I want to talk about the lack of videos on my channel recently. If you check my channel, the last video that I uploaded was 3 months ago, which is way too long ago compared to how much I used to upload. The truth is, I have been very busy with school and I'm struggling a lot to find time to make more videos for my channel. However, I do plan to make more videos in the future, perhaps not at the same rate, but I will continue. One last thing, I would like to know what you think of this new video format of me talking compared to my previous videos, which mostly consisted of just montages and text with music. If you enjoy this new format, please like and comment your thoughts. If you prefer the old video format, also comment below and let me know why. And as always, thanks for watching.